Now, I'm not Sikh, but I am in love with one. So I like talking about it, I like learning about it, and as long as I get comments like this, I'm going to continue to do so. I think it's good for my Eastern audience to have a refresher, and it's good for my Western audience to learn something new, maybe. I'm not trying to convert anybody. It's an ethnic, cultural, regional religion, meaning they're not necessarily trying to grow it, they're just trying to retain the language and culture and values that they already have. Sikhism is a monotheistic religion founded in Punjab, India in 1469. At the head of the religion was a spiritual teacher called a guru who was a messenger for God, and there was 10 human gurus. I'm gonna try to take you through the history of every single one of them. First guru, Nanak Dev Ji, founded Sikhism. During this time in northern India, Hinduism and Islam were the two major religions, and they did not get along. This man, after 3 days of meditation, believed that he merged with God and brought forth the message that Hindus and Muslims were equal, though he believed himself to be neither. Instead, he sought the idea of there being one eternal, all-encompassing, all-knowing, truthful God. He sought for God and truth and spoke that message. He never asked anyone to follow him. Instead, his followers simply liked what he was saying, and they called themselves Sikhs, meaning students. After Nanak passed in 1539, he chose his successor, being the second guru, Angad Dev Ji. He began to compile all of the hymns of Nanak in addition to his own. This would become the basis for two things, one of which was the Gurmukhi script. That was the written form of the language Punjabi. And second, the Guru Granth Sahib, the holy text. This guru also popularized the idea of langar, which is a free communal meal that everyone can partake in at the end of a Sikh service. It demonstrated community service, but also the equality of people. That's why everyone is sitting on the floor, equal amongst each other. Big part of Sikhism today. In 1552, the third guru, Amar Das Ji, is appointed by his predecessor. His main legacy is emphasizing equality. He abolished sati, which was where a married woman had to burn herself alive atop of her husband's funeral pyre upon his death. He also abolished the parda system, which is where women had to cover their face, body with veils, and they were not allowed to sit in the company of men. He is my favorite. I don't know if that's incorrect to say, but as an outsider, he's my favorite. In 1574, the fourth guru, Ram Das Sahib Ji, founded the city of Amritsar. Even still into present day, this is the holy city for Sikhism. He also began the construction of the Golden Temple, which is the main Gurdwara or house of worship for Sikhs and actually all religion. He wanted all faiths to be able to worship here. He wanted entrances on every side. He wanted it to be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everyone can use it everywhere all the time. In 1581, the fifth guru, Arjan Dev Ji, was known as a true Sikh scholar. He went through Hindu, Muslim, and all the past guru texts to ensure their authenticity. He sorted through the ones that he agreed with, he organized them, and with that made the Adi Granth. That's the first holy scripture. However, he is most well known for being the first Sikh martyr. He was executed by the Emperor Jahangir because Sikhs believed that he refused to remove offensive lines in the Adi Granth. The emperor didn't like what he put in the book, he refused to take it out, so they killed him. In 1595, we get his son, the sixth guru, Hargobind Sahib Ji. He was only 11 years old when he first became guru. He was also the first guru to take up arms in defense of faith and oppressed people, so he militarized Sikhism. For this, he created the, okay, bear with me, Sri Akal Takht Sahib. Sri Akal Takht Sahib. Let me know if that's right. It was a tall platform, probably 9-10 feet tall, which at that time was only reserved for the right of emperors. But on that platform, he sat two swords, Miri and Piri, essentially representing spiritual authority and temporal authority. In 1644, the seventh guru, Harai Sahib Ji, was, in contrast, very peaceful. He focused more on missionary work rather than direct conflict, but still allowed the saint soldiers established by the previous guru to stand. His main contribution to Sikhism was the kirtan, which was devotional music during service. It was the act of singing and repeating the hymns, and is still a large part of Sikh service today. In 1661, the eighth and youngest guru, Harkrishan Sahib Ji. He became guru at age 5 and passed away when he was only 8 years old. He was known for purity because of his young age, and healing because he lived during the smallpox epidemic and helped a lot of people with it. Eventually, he succumbed to smallpox himself, but even Muslim citizens looked to him and called him a child prophet. In 1665, the ninth guru, Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, composed over 100 hymns himself, mostly covering sorrow, death, mourning, human attachment. He believed strongly, like all of the other gurus, in the freedom of worship, but he took it a step further and actually became the second Sikh martyr because of it. When hearing of the strict oppression of Kashmiri Hindus, he traveled to confront the oppression of the Mughal Empire. It led to his arrest and eventual beheading after his failure to convert to Islam. He is the second martyr. In 1675, his son and the 10th and final human guru, Gobind Singh Sahib Ji. He decided that he had enough and he created the Khalsa, which was essentially a Sikh army in response to all of the religious oppression. He established baptism for Sikhs in order to be initiated into the Khalsa, which is the Sikh baptism today. He fought many battles himself, but was ultimately killed by assassins in 1708. He stated that there shall be no more human gurus after him. Simply only the remaining text of the previous 10 will be the 11th and everlasting guru. This is holy scripture. This is the 11th Guru. It is long-lasting, eternal, undisputable. The Guru Granth Sahib, it is the Sikh Bible and is the basis for Sikhism today. Sat Shri Akal.